Somewhere in China, a car company's website went down. Not because of a hack, not because of a server error, because too many people tried to buy the same car at the same time. 10,000 orders in 60 minutes for a brand new electric SUV at a price that made industry analysts pull up the listing twice to make sure they weren't misreading a decimal point. $15,000 for a full electric SUV. And the company that just quietly pulled this off isn't Tesla. It isn't BYD. It's Toyota, the brand most people still associate with the Camry sitting in their parents' driveway. No stadium reveal. No countdown live stream. No tweet storm. Just a number posted online and a website that couldn't handle what happened next. And here's the part that should actually worry Tesla and BYD. This wasn't a one-time stunt. Toyota has now done this 3 separate times in 12 months. Today, we're breaking down exactly how cheap Toyota's EVs have gotten, why that price point is more dangerous to its rivals than any flagship launch, and what Toyota is quietly building toward once the technology finally catches up to the price tag it's already promising people. For years, when people talked about EVs, the conversation only had 2 names in it. Tesla, the company that basically invented the modern EV as a status symbol. BYD, the company that's now outproducing them. Toyota barely came up, and honestly, that made sense. While everyone else sprinted toward full electric lineups, Toyota kept leaning on hybrids. The Prius, the RAV4 hybrid, the Camry hybrid, and critics called it hesitant. Behind even, some of them are still saying it today. But hesitant companies don't quietly launch 3 separate electric SUVs under $22,000 inside a single year. That's not hesitation, that's positioning. And it just walked directly into the one price bracket Tesla and BYD both need to win and can't fully claim yet. Let's start with the car that actually broke the website, the Toyota BZ3X. Sold through the GAC Toyota joint venture in China. When it launched in March 2025, Toyota priced it at roughly 149,800 yuan, right around $15,000, and called it their first pure electric SUV built specifically for that price class. That single number is what caused the damage. Within an hour of the reveal going live, GAC Toyota's ordering servers buckled, and more than 10,000 buyers had already locked in a purchase before things even stabilized. And the demand wasn't a surprise reaction. It had been building for months. Toyota opened blind pre-orders back in December 2024 before a single spec sheet had even been confirmed, starting under $14,000. And people reserved units anyway, purely on trust in the badge. Then Toyota did something you almost never see a legacy automaker do. A year after launch, in March 2026, they cut the price again, down to roughly $14,500, and started marketing it as Toyota's first true sub-$15,000 class pure electric SUV. That's not a rounding error or a clearance sale. That's a company deliberately undercutting its own launch price specifically to keep pressure on everyone watching. Part of how Toyota pulled the economics off comes down to a smart platform decision. Instead of engineering an entirely new EV architecture from scratch, the expensive, slow way every automaker usually does it, the BZ3X borrows its chassis, motors, and drivetrain from the GAC Aeon V, a platform GAC already builds at massive volume. Toyota just drops in its own battery packs and software layer on top. Less engineering risk, far less development cost, and a much shorter runway to market. And the BZ3X isn't fighting this battle alone. Toyota's BZ3 sedan, co-developed with FAW and using BYD's own Blade lithium iron phosphate battery cells, had its price cut to roughly $13,500, with range stretching past 380 miles. Then there's the BZ5, a fastback coupe SUV that launched in June 2025, starting around $18,000, also running BYD Blade batteries, putting out up to 268 horsepower and charging from 30 to 80% in about 27 minutes. For comparison, the Tesla Model Y in China starts at nearly double that price. Toyota isn't just undercutting Tesla here, it's undercutting it by more than half, while still hitting a genuinely competitive charging curve and over 390 miles of range on the top trim. 3 different Toyota EVs, 3 different price points, all landing under $22,000, all launched inside the same 12-month window. That's not a lucky quarter. That's a company that decided the affordability fight was the one worth winning first, and it's now fighting that battle on 3 fronts simultaneously. So why does this scare Tesla and BYD more than a new flagship ever could? Because Tesla has spent years promising a genuinely affordable EV in most markets and still hasn't fully delivered on it. And BYD dominates on price at home in China, but is still working to earn trust and margin overseas. Toyota just walks straight into the exact price band both of them want most, and it's carrying something neither of them can fully replicate: nearly a century of manufacturing trust, a dealer and service network that already exists in almost every country with a paved road, and a reliability reputation that no amount of marketing budget can buy overnight. Think about a first-time EV buyer in a market where trust in a brand matters more than a spec sheet. When they're choosing between an unfamiliar EV-only startup and the badge their family has trusted for 2 generations, that badge usually wins, especially once the price of choosing wrong finally feels small enough to risk. Toyota also isn't starting this fight from zero infrastructure, which is a massive, underrated advantage. It already runs factories, parts suppliers, and dealership networks in nearly every country that's ever bought a Corolla or a Hilux. Decades of infrastructure sitting there, ready to be repointed at EV production. Tesla, by contrast, still has to fight for permits and build new factories almost market by market. BYD's manufacturing strength is heavily concentrated in China, with an export operation that's growing fast but is still young. Toyota doesn't have to build global reach from scratch. It's already sitting on it, waiting for cheap EVs to fill the pipeline. Now, it's worth stepping back and noticing how differently cheap gets defined depending on where you're standing in the world. In the US right now, the title of most affordable EV belongs to the 2026 Nissan Leaf, starting just under $30,000 with over 300 miles of range. In a market where the average new car sells for close to $50,000, that genuinely counts as a breakthrough. And yet $30,000 is still double what Toyota is charging for the BZ3X in China. Different battery costs, different subsidies, different supply chains, sure, but it shows exactly why Toyota's Chinese pricing playbook is so unsettling to watch from outside that market. Toyota isn't theorizing about what a sub-$15,000 EV could look like. It's already selling one by the tens of thousands every single month. And Toyota has signaled the BZ5 in particular won't stay China exclusive. Expansion into other Asian and European markets is already in motion, aimed squarely at middle-class buyers who've wanted an EV but never been able to justify the price. Meanwhile, the ground underneath Tesla and BYD keeps shifting under their own feet. In 2025, BYD overtook Tesla in pure battery electric sales for the first time, roughly 2.26 million units to Tesla's 1.64 million, while Tesla's overall deliveries slipped about 9% for the year. Then 2026 flipped the fight back and forth. Tesla actually outsold BYD in battery electric vehicles in the first quarter, only for BYD to retake the lead in the second quarter with over 557,000 BEVs sold against Tesla's roughly 480,000. Two giants trading blows every 90 days like it's a title fight. And into that chaos, Toyota isn't even trying to win the belt. It's quietly taking the one thing both fighters actually need to keep growing. The customer who's wanted an EV for years, but has never been able to justify writing the check. Here's where the story gets bigger than just pricing today, though, because Toyota is quietly building toward something further out: solid-state batteries. Right now, solid-state cells cost somewhere between $600 and $800 per kilowatt hour, compared to roughly $130 for standard lithium-ion. Toyota's own roadmap doesn't expect price parity until around 2030. That means the first solid-state Toyota, likely wearing a Lexus badge, not a Toyota one, will land as a premium halo vehicle, not a $15,000 SUV. But that technology won't stay locked in a halo car forever. It'll filter down into the exact affordable lineup that's already worrying Tesla and BYD today. And Toyota isn't racing toward this alone. Mercedes has already tested a solid-state powered EQS prototype on public roads, reportedly covering close to 750 miles on a single charge. And startups like QuantumScape are chasing the same breakthrough with backing from Volkswagen. Whoever gets there first and cheapest doesn't just win a spec sheet, they reset what an EV full tank is supposed to feel like for an entire industry. Toyota's bet is simple. By the time solid state actually arrives at scale, Toyota will already own the largest, cheapest, most trusted EV customer base on the planet, ready-made to sell the upgrade to. Zoom out even further, and the picture gets more uncomfortable for the competition. In 2025, Toyota, including Lexus, sold a record 11.32 million vehicles worldwide, holding the title of the world's best-selling automaker for a sixth consecutive year. Tesla delivered about 1.64 million vehicles that same year. BYD sold around 4.6 million. So on raw electric volume alone, Toyota is still genuinely far behind both companies. Its own battery electric sales sit under 200,000 units globally, a sliver of its total output. But that's exactly why the bZ3X story matters. Toyota isn't trying to out-EV Tesla and BYD on their terms yet. It's using its manufacturing scale, its brand trust, and a strategy that blends hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and EVs together to enter the fight exactly where it hurts the competition most, on price, without cutting corners on the tech inside the car. So if Toyota can already build a $15,000 EV with real driver assist tech on board, why hasn't it gone fully electric everywhere? Because Toyota doesn't chase trends. It reads markets before committing to them. Hybrids still made up roughly 42% of Toyota's global sales mix in 2025, while pure EVs stayed under 2%. Across huge parts of the world, rural India, Southeast Asia, much of Africa, and South America, charging infrastructure simply isn't reliable enough yet for a family to bet their only car on it. A hybrid sidesteps that problem entirely. It charges itself, needs no plug, and has nearly 3 decades of proven reliability behind it since the original Prius launched in 1997. Toyota is betting that hybrids stay the practical bridge for most of the world, while EV infrastructure slowly catches up, and that by the time it does, Toyota will already be sitting on the cheapest, most trusted EV lineup on the market, ready to scale overnight. That's the quiet part of the strategy that's easy to miss. Every bZ3X and bZ5 buyer today is a future solid-state customer tomorrow, already loyal to the badge instead of shopping around when the real upgrade finally lands. Internally, Toyota has described its solid-state program in 3 phases: performance optimization through the mid-2020s, pilot production in the back half of the decade, and full commercial launch targeted for 2027 to 2028. A working prototype was actually demonstrated back in 2020, years before Tesla or BYD said a public word about solid-state ambitions of their own, though durability, cost, and manufacturability kept it out of showrooms until now. And to be fair to the skeptics, that same 2027 to 2028 target has been sitting on the board since a technical workshop back in 2023. And the obvious question keeps coming up: how many times has a car company promised a battery breakthrough that quietly slipped another 2 or 3 years? That's a fair criticism, and it deserves to stay part of this story, not get glossed over. But Toyota's track record here isn't nothing. This is the same company that made hybrids genuinely mainstream while everyone else was still betting entirely on gasoline, and it took nearly a decade of unglamorous patient engineering to pull off. The first solid-state application is expected to land under Lexus rather than Toyota itself, letting a premium buyer absorb the early sticker shock while the tech matures and the cost curve bends down. Once that curve bends far enough, Expect the exact formula that built the BZ3X to repeat. Take the premium tech, strip it into an affordable shell, lean on a local supply chain, and undercut everyone else in the room. Tesla and BYD are both racing toward the same finish line from the top down, chasing flagship range and performance first, then working the price down over time. Toyota looks to be building this from the bottom up instead, starting with millions of ordinary buyers who just want a cheap, reliable way into an EV, then handing them something extraordinary once the technology finally catches up to the price tag Toyota already promised them. That patience has paid off for Toyota before. It let Honda and GM chase hydrogen fuel cell dead ends through the 2000s, while the Prius quietly became the best-selling car in California. It let the first wave of EV startups burn through billions on unproven platforms, then stepped in years later with a battery supply chain, a dealer network, and a service reputation none of them could match on day one. There's a business logic underneath all of it, too. Every hybrid Toyota sells today still turns a healthy profit and keeps factories running at full capacity, quietly funding the billions being poured into solid-state research without needing outside investors or government-backed loans the way younger EV makers often do. Tesla had to bet the entire company on electric from day one. BYD had years of Chinese government backing to absorb early losses. Toyota doesn't need either luxury because hybrids are already paying the bill. That's the part critics miss when they call Toyota slow. It isn't behind in the EV race. It's financing its own entry into that race using a technology everyone else wrote off a decade ago. And it's in no hurry, because for the first time in this entire industry, patience might actually be the fastest way to win.